Money's always tight around the holidays, right? And there's all these people that we want to give gifts to, maybe coworkers or neighbors, and we don't want to spend a lot of money just because money is tight. Okay, so you know those cookie cans, the cookies that come in those cans, like this one right here, the butter cookies. They're not really very pretty, are they? So we're just going to make over this can, and then you can bake your own cookies or put in it whatever you like, but we're going to make this can pretty. And this one's a super easy one. You can go fancy schmancy if you want. This one is just pretty basic. We're going to start with paint. We're going to just paint the sides of it. I'm choosing a white color here. You might need 2 coats, and we're also going to paint the lid, of course. So let's get this painted, 2 coats on, and then move on to the next step. So just like with the bottom of the can, we're going to do the lid and the sides of the lid as well. Again, 1 coat and then a 2nd coat. Make sure your first coat dries. And maybe you might even want to do a 3rd coat. It's painting a can, so sometimes it's a little different. Okay, so usually I seal everything at the end for the most part, most times. But with this can, because it's a little bit different, and we are going to use Iron Orchid Design transfers on here, I am going to seal this with a sealant. I use Debbie's Design Big Top or the Clear Patina, but any sealant will work as long as it's not wax. Next thing is we're going to choose a transfer, and I have these new Christmas ones from Iron Orchid Design, and I just want to find something that's going to look right on this can. And the reason I want to explain for sealing the can is because I want to make sure that these stick. I don't want to take a chance. Usually it does work. They go right on paint. Iron Orchid Design asks that you seal before you put them on to assure that they will stick, and they usually do, because if you're using chalk paint, it's chalky and it needs something to adhere to, and sometimes it doesn't work so well. But I find that for the most part it does. But because this is a can and it's a little bit different and I didn't want to chance these smaller transfers, I sealed. Okay, so now we're just gonna put these on, and this is super easy. All we're gonna do really is cut out the design we want, and you can do this with any can. This is just the Christmas edition video, I guess, and you're just gonna cut out the style or the one that you want. You're gonna peel it away from the backing, and there's gonna be a grid in the front of that picture that you're putting down. No worries about that. That's just to kind of guide you for when you want to measure and things like that. But we're just going to simply put them on and then just rub. These transfers come with a plastic stick that you can rub them on. Sometimes when it's a smaller piece that I'm using, I just use my finger and it works just as well. And you're going to pull that paper up once you get that image down. You're going to pull it up slowly and make sure that that image did transfer onto whatever it is that you're putting it on. If it didn't, you could gently push back down if you haven't lifted all the way, and just keep rubbing until the image stays on there. Okay, now let's choose something for the side. We want to put something on the side of the cans as well. Otherwise, it's just going to look pretty from the top, the lid, and not the side. And we do want to make this can pretty because we're going to put cookies and things for our neighbors and our friends. And it's going to be a little gift. And by the way, at the end, when this is all said and done and the can is all set to go, filled with the goodies, you can tie a big red bow on the top or put a big bow. I wouldn't put anything that has adhesive on it, but a fabric bow would be really, really pretty to add finishing touches. Okay, now that we're just about done, I'm going to clean off the bottom of the can where I did drip some paint. Okay, so we have the paint, we sealed the paint, we added the transfers. Now I want to seal again because these are transfers and you really should seal them to give them a protective coating. But also, I wanted to make this can look a little bit vintagey, kind of like an older can. You know how sometimes you find those old cans that have been around forever and you just collect them, or at least I do. Maybe that's just a me thing. But a little bit of dark wax to seal the transfers and to make that white not be so bright. You don't have to use dark wax. You can use a regular sealant to seal this whole thing over. I do recommend sealing it. Whatever you use is fine. And you can even use a clear wax if you don't want to darken the color. So, but just make sure that you seal it to protect those transfers. And yeah, so I'm just going to add a little bit of gold here on the rim of the lid. I just want to make it a little bit blingy. And this is pretty much done. I think this came out super pretty. I'm really happy with it. And it's a great homemade gift, especially if you make your own cookies and you made your own can. Who wouldn't treasure that? If I got